Okay, you've heard this before. We try to send out free picks once a week. And the only way to really effectively do that is if I find a chart that, because remember, I'm sending it out the night before. So if I find a chart that, hey, look at this trigger price right here. If it breaks this area, here's a great entry to buy it, and I can give you a price in the video ahead of time, and you know, kind of a rough gauge on where the stop will go. Tough to find those lately, so in lieu of that, at least tonight and this week, I'm just going to send out a few charts that we'll be watching. Most of what we're doing, okay, all of what we're doing is on an intraday basis. We still start with some daily charts that we like. Again, none of them really have a specific trigger price I can give you in a video. So rather than send out a free pick with a trigger price and a stop and so on, since I don't have one, I'm just going to put together a few of our stocks that we're watching and kind of talk about why. So here's one, DNDN, huge volume pop the other day, big breakout of this base, and then a very organized lower volume stair step pattern each day, down a little bit. So this is on bounce watch. Now, what does that mean as far as the entry? I don't have one. I'll have to wait and see how it trades tomorrow. What I'd love to see is DNDN kind of trade in a very narrow range for 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then break its early high. Should get a nice little pop if it does that. So I'll be kind of watching it for that. If it runs right off the bat, probably won't find an entry. So it's got to meet a very specific set of intraday parameters before I'll trade a bounce play. But DNDN, a pretty good candidate. Electronic Arts, I've traded this 2 days in a row. EA, after gapping up, down 5 days in a row, and then today, gaps down into an area of support. We had a nice trade in this one today, if you saw our wrap-up video. And it's back on bounce watch tomorrow, kind of like DNDN, only not quite a bullish chart, but 5 days down in a row to, actually 6 days now, to an area of support. Nice volume, kind of have that doji look to it, so it could be up from here. It didn't close as strong as I had hoped today, but I got a nice trade in it. Anyway, Electronic Arts is on long watch tomorrow if it meets one of our midday or intraday entry parameters. Hasbro, again, I don't have a trigger price for you, but nice volume the other day, and I had a big kind of engulfing candle here, and now pulled back for a couple days, and then another strong day today. This one, yeah, I guess you could put a catalyst price, 36.88, a break of Thursday's high. That's today. I'm making this video Thursday night. 36.92, kind of a secondary catalyst. But again, I don't like to put out triggers because it might gap down and then those trigger prices don't mean much, or it might gap up and they don't mean anything. So we'll have to find, again, intraday setups that we teach in order to take an entry in them. But an interesting chart. The Coles are kind of getting a little bit of juice lately, and then like ACI is one of them. And then you have a nice flag pattern here. ACI just on long watch. You could also look at PCX, BTU. They're all fairly similar. ANR, kind of all strong, and then a few day pullback on a little bit lower volume on the pullback, and nice volume today you see on ACI on this green day. So this one's on watch. HDY, ugly daily chart here, but you do have some support. They had a secondary which killed it on this day. The secondary was at $3, and now it's down nearing 2. This is definitely on bounce watch in our chat room, especially if it gets down here near $2. We'll be looking for an intraday turn on that thing if we can find one, as a nice possible trade idea. And then this I don't really have on watch for a trade now. We grabbed some URRE, a very cheap uranium play. But I think, I was telling the chat room, I think these are going to be multi-day. And I didn't make it an official call, but I told our room I was grabbing some today around 97, 98 cents. And the volume's interesting. And there's a lot I like about this chart, URRE. It's a cheap one, but it could be multi-day up from here. It's a very nice looking chart as far as upside versus downside potential. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. And hopefully next week we can find a chart that actually has a crystal clear trigger price to give you to make trading a little bit easier. At least trading our calls, if you're not in our chat room, it makes it a little tough. So hopefully this list will help some of you build your list for the morning. All right, talk to you guys later.